it's element 39 again. Today we'll be talking about gold. What does one imagine when talking about gold? Luxury, opulence, overindulgence, riches? Humans have been mining and decorating themselves and their object ever since 4000 BCE. But few realize that what many of us wear in bracelet, necklace, or ring form came from the golden celestial spheres of light in the sky, stars. Stars are massive nuclear furnaces, utilizing the pressure in the dense core to kickstart nuclear fusion. And as a result, the fusion of the hydrogen nuclei provides energy so that the star doesn't collapse onto itself and makes it shine. Eventually, its hydrogen fuel runs out, and it starts fusing together helium and so on along the chain. For all small stars, the process ends in carbon, allowing them to slowly cool down to a blue or black dwarf stage. Since their surface area is the smallest, they radiate heat slower, making the lives of these stars the longest. However, to make gold is only an honor reserved from the biggest of stars when they die. When the biggest of stars die, they collapse onto themselves, then with a huge amount of force, explodes outwards, expelling with such force that the elements inside the star heat up dramatically, and as a result, the elements nickel to uranium are made, gold being one of them. When this collapse and rebounding happens, it is called a supernova. The supernova shockwaves propel the mounds of gas and dust far, far out into the interstellar medium. Gold is malleable and shiny, making it a popular choice for metalworking, paving the way for metal craftsmanship. Many historical figures have been found with various different gold artifacts, such as Tutankhamun's mask, walking sticks, and chariot, all of which were made with or plated with gold. However, Egypt isn't the only civilization that had independently discovered how to work gold into artwork. Many ancient civilizations, such as the Romans or Greeks, also were skilled at shaping and plating their golden statues or monuments. Think of the Pantheon in Rome, a temple dedicated to all of the gods in Roman mythology. It was the only place that you could worship all of the gods at once, and had a gargantuan dome plated with gold and a wide oculus or window that shone light through every year on the 21st of March. Then there is the Athena Pantheos, a beautiful chrysolephantine or gold and ivory statue in the likeness of Athena, the wisdom goddess. The scarcity of gold and the difficulty in purifying and crafting it meant that in ancient cultures, it was regarded as a sign of religion or royalty. The conquest and the discovery of the Americas was partly fueled by the Old World's hunger for gold and silver, as well as the exotic spices from China and the Indies, which as a result led Spain, Portugal, and many other countries to develop new routes to the east. The Americas would also not have been colonized either if it weren't for the tales of a city made entirely of gold called El Dorado, and the gargantuan amounts of gold possessed by the Aztec, Inca, and Maya emperors. Many of the Aztec, Inca, and Maya gold artifacts were destroyed and melted to become gold ingots belonging to the country it ended up in because of the rampant piracy in the trade routes. Nearly all of the Aztec, Inca, and Maya artifacts have been destroyed and are exceedingly rare to find. Gold is essentially what some people may call a noble metal, meaning that it is highly standoffish and occurs rarely in compounds. This feature is useful in industry as it does not tarnish easily, meaning that it has a longer lifetime, and it does not corrode well, meaning that it will conduct electricity better for longer. This is useful especially in the technology industry owing to the fact that it doesn't corrode. One of the only ways to dissolve gold is in a solution of aqua regia, typically calling for a 3:1 to 4:1 ratio of hydrochloric acid to nitric acid respectively. Gold also has medicinal uses, such as a radioactive isotope gold-198 being used as a potential tumor treatment, as it can be directly injected into the tumors in patients, and some gold salts are already being used as a treatment for rheumatoid arthritis, a long-term autoimmune disorder that results in warm, swollen joints. Making/obtaining gold was one of the goals of alchemy, the others being to find the philosopher's stone and the universal solvent. The philosopher's stone was hypothesized to give a liquid that was called the elixir, and said that whoever drank it would guarantee them immortality. The universal solvent was another liquid that could dissolve anything it touched, possibly granting the user unlimited power. Many alchemists tried and failed lots of times, some attempting to do it with a urine because it looked golden, others with crucibles and heated it up until red hot, then added something they thought would give them gold, or mercury and sulfur, which they thought that if mercury was silvery and sulfur was yellow, the mutual differences would add up to make gold. Of course, they all failed. Gold is to be found in large chunks or nuggets, such as the welcome stranger nugget found in central Victoria in 1869. But many of the visible gold resources have been depleted over the course of history. However, it does not mean that there is no more gold left in the world. Many of the gold resources have microscopic amounts of it left. Mines around the world instead use a different method. First, they drill 50-meter-long cylinders that they examine for gold flakes, or send a rock sample to the labs to examine for the weight of gold per ton. After that, the result is sent to the operators that mined for the gold. The ore is then sent to the processing factories where it is bathed in around 152,000 liters of cyanide to obtain 3 casserole dishes of gold and carbon. The 3 casserole dishes are emptied of their dusty contents and smelted with a powder called flux, made with manganese dioxide, fluorite, silica flour, and borax. The purpose of the flux is to purify the gold while smelting. The flux acts first by lowering the melting temperature of the impurities called the slag. Then as the temperature gets higher, oxidizes the slag. The slag rises to the top of the smelted metal and is poured out. The operators will have to test for gold present in the slag. If there is any gold present, then they will have to start the process again. After the gold is separated from its impurities, it is poured into bars, stamped with its own unique serial number. There are, however, surprising amounts of gold dissolved in seawater, some estimating between 10 trillion to 27 trillion tons of it in the oceans. Good luck finding it though, as the concentration of it is in the parts per trillions, meaning that you would need to evaporate trillions of metric tons of water to get even 1 gram of the stuff. Not to mention the cost of removing all the salts and the criminal charges you would be faced with for damaging the water cycle and damaging the marine ecosystem. Maybe you'd be best with buying the gold from your local particle accelerator, like the Large Hadron Collider or something. Particle accelerators make radioactive isotopes of gold by smashing smaller atomic nuclei into the larger atoms to induce nuclear decay, hopefully to gold. sounds like the perfect start for a science fiction. It was a peaceful Friday afternoon in the year 2151. Many beachgoers are playing in the sand or swimming in the aqua ocean. Suddenly, a huge black cloud swooped over the unsuspecting crowd, and a long black tube came from the rear of the crowd and dropped into the waters below, sucking the water up, up, and up. People were screaming, "Ah, they're coming for our water!" But actually, no, they wanted gold.